if you're two people in traveling in a car, don't turn on your AC. I know it's freaking 40 degrees out there, but I want you to roll your windows down, because if that person, the second person, is not from within your bubble, you need to roll your windows down, because that if there is a viral load in the car, it needs to get dispersed. Otherwise, you're a sitting duck.
Hi guys, I know we are all extremely worried about the third phase of COVID and especially it affecting our children. I know it's one of our biggest concerns as parents. Couple of things that I want to chat with you guys, right? So there's confusion on flu shots. Should you give flu shots? Should you not give flu shots? Should you wear double masks? Should you wear single mask? And a very surprising thing that my daughter asked me the other day when I was putting her to sleep, where she said, Mama, the first wave had one mask, the second wave had two masks, in the third wave, will I have to wear three masks? And I don't know why it just hit home, and I was like, I really had no answers, and I was just kind of thinking about it myself, and and then they feel really suffocated in the N95. There's confusion on whether you should wear the surgical mask below and then the N95 first, then the surgical mask. Are cloth masks and surgical okay? Cloth masks and N95. There's just so much confusion, right? The N95 don't fit the kids as well the ones that are readily available. So there's so much confusion on the mask and the right mask for kids, and also the logic to why mask, right? And that's why we're chatting with Jaydhar Gupta, and Jay's journey has been from an entrepreneur to activist to an entrepreneur again, and he obviously consults work with the government on multiple issues regarding to the air quality in Delhi, the masking procedure. He's working on many fronts, starting many movements, and really it comes from a very deep pain point where he suffered personal health as well, and that's why his journey. Hi Jay.
Hi, Mansi. How are you?
I'm very well, and I'm very excited to see your mask right there. Jay, you manufacture, your brand manufactures N95 masks for kids, and of course, we'll get to the fun design part of it.
Yeah.
But tell me about the right mask for children, and and the logic of masking to begin with.
I want to start right at the top with, what is the purpose of a mask? What is the role of a mask, right? Because, I feel like it's the most ignored item out of the whole pandemic landscape. If we kind of look at everything, everybody skipped the mask. And we've had a lot of changing guidelines on the mask as well. So I want to start with, what the hell is a mask and what is the purpose of a mask, okay? So the mask is basically a preventative tool, okay, a personal protective equipment or a device to create a barrier to protect you from some things that are bad in the air, okay. And when I say some things that are bad in the air, I'm going to point out that we live in a country, and unfortunately for you and me, we live in a city that not only has the worst communicable disease record on the planet, but also has the worst air pollution record on the planet. Which is why, if anybody's kind of, on this live has heard me speak before, I keep talking about a twindemic. We're not in the midst of a pandemic, guys. We're in the midst of a twindemic. It's the first pandemic which has been playing in our lives for over a decade now is air pollution, which is the slow and stealthy pandemic, and of course COVID is the one that more recently kind of become a part of our life. But the bad news is that both of them are respiratory pandemics. Both of them create an oxidative stress on the body. So the fact that two pandemics that are both creating an oxidative stress on our body is not a good thing. The good news is that the mask in this case, in the case of air pollution, you've got contaminants. In our case, black carbon nanoparticles, what we call PM 2.5 in the air. In the case of in the case of COVID, we've got aerosolized particles of the virus. It's virus either attaching itself to respiratory droplets from our breath, or virus attaching itself to particles. It could even be PM 2.5 in the air. So either way, it's finding something to latch onto, and it's suspended in the air. And you just got to prevent this thing from getting into your air passages, your mouth or your nose, right? So the good news is that the mask can achieve both. Okay. Now, for it to achieve both, you need to understand the science of the problem, right? I think a lot of people listening to this probably understand the science of air pollution. We were talking about, particles that are PM 2.5, which is smaller than 2.5 microns, which are a problem for us. In the case of COVID, we're talking about particles that are 1/25th the size of a PM 2.5 particle, right? So let me break it down a little bit. I'm sorry, I'm going to get a little technical now. If a billionth of a meter, everybody knows what a meter is. A billionth of a meter is a nanometer. Okay, so the width of one strand of your hair is 75,000 nanometers. PM 2.5 is 2,500 nanometers. The average size of a COVID particle is 125 nanometers. Okay, so a COVID particle is 1/750th the width of your hair, or 1/25th the size of a PM 2.5 particle. So we're talking about a nano particle. And really, even the science behind an N95 mask, if you ask me what is an N95 mask, it actually only filters down to 300 nanometers with a 95% efficacy. So you're going to say, oh shit, if COVID is 125 nanometers, that means even in an N95, I'm not safe. Well, the answer is you're right. The answer is you are absolutely right. If you're wearing a mask that has efficacy only down to 300 nanometers, which is the case of an N95 mask, you are now saying, okay, Baba Sade Naal hai, let's just hope that that particle that virus is attaching itself to, or the droplet in the air, is at least 175 nanometers, so that combined they're more than 300 nanometers. And
Right.
I don't want to live with that. I don't want to live with that. So we kind of followed science on this. We have been making masks for about 7 years, and we had come across.
Interrupt you right there. When you said, it brings me great relief to know that you've been making masks for the last 7 years, because otherwise you seem to know that everybody can make sanitizer and masks at home now, right? Like, we're a country of like that. India was taken too seriously, like made at home, with just assuming that it's just like this. And I saw people attaching elastic stuff to it. So I'm so glad to hear that you've been making masks for the last 7 years.
No, we have, and we are so particular about the science. I got to tell you, we love what we do, and the more I get into it, I realize how little people understand. I mean, if I start naming the people from government that called me in February of 2020 to ask me what the hell is a mask, and these are people who have been wearing. I'm talking about leading surgeons of India, brand names, who have been wearing masks for as long as they've been doctors or started studying to become a doctor. Suddenly out of the blue, they're like, okay, what the hell is an N95 mask that I've been wearing for 40 years? Can you just educate me? And am I going to survive COVID in this mask? Like, nobody understands masks. Nobody understands. So the objective of a mask is to protect a barrier from something bad in the air. In this case, we are trying, in the case of air pollution, we're trying to create a barrier for as small as you can go. But as far as COVID is concerned, it's 125 nanometers. So we were forced to find a media that will filter down to 125 nanometers. And the only media that does that is a nanotechnology media. It's a nanofiber. There's no other media in the world. If I explain the science to you, there is a reason a 3M or a Honeywell N95 mask lasts for only 8 hours. And the reason is that it's achieving its filtration due to an electrostatic charge, which is gone in 8 hours. There's no point of wearing a 3M mask beyond 8. From the time it's out of its packaging, in 8 hours, it's garbage. If you're wearing it, you're only fooling yourself. And don't even get me started on cloth masks and these surgical masks and all that. It's not going to protect you. The surgical mask is not even sealing your face. The only purpose of wearing a surgical mask is if you're trying to protect others, but you are completely exposed in a surgical mask. As far as a cloth mask is concerned, no science there.
I'm going to cut you right there.
Yeah.
So you were telling me that, okay, couple of questions, and everybody seems to be asking the question on double mask, right? So I have to ask a question. and just before you got on, I said, the way people are doing this is they're first wearing their N95, wearing the surgical on top, or they're wearing a cloth mask, wearing an N95 on top, or vice versa. What's the right way to wear the mask and which one?
Okay, so let me tell you that if you're wearing a well-fitted, reusable N95 mask, you
Right.
only need to wear one mask. Okay.
Okay.
We are possibly the only company on the planet that makes masks in 7 sizes, right? From somebody who's 12 kilograms in weight to somebody who's 130 kilograms in weight, we have a mask for you. And this whole fit thing is something we take very, very seriously. Okay. So there are a few things in a mask that no compromises there. One is the fit. Okay. If it doesn't fit you, if it doesn't completely seal your face so that everything going into your lungs and everything coming out of your lungs has to be forced through the filter. If that's not happening, that whatever you're wearing is absolutely useless for you. The second thing is, what the hell does the mask filter, or what does it block? Okay, so we are trying to block nanoparticles. That's very, very important. The smaller the particle that we block, the better. So we decided to not stop at N95, which only blocks particles down to 300 nanometers. We went ahead and created the first mask in the world using nanofiber. So we went to nanotechnology filters, and our masks block particles down to 100 nanometers, smaller than the COVID size particle, with a 99.7% efficacy. So, I want to see a viral filtration efficiency test on the mask. Okay, I want to see a particulate filtration efficiency test on the mask. And I'm talking about particles down to 100 nanometers. Okay, so fortunately, we were solving a certain problem for air pollution, but COVID forced us to kind of really raise the bar. And the other beauty of nanotechnology, which is really, really important, and I'm going to answer your question of double masking with this and tell you why I hate that guidance, is that a very important thing in a mask is the inhalation and exhalation resistance. Okay, when you put an obstruction on your air passages, it's not comfortable, right? And any amount of obstruction, whether it's less or more, it puts a pressure on your heart. It puts a pressure on all your organs because you have to use more energy now to do something that's natural, right? And that is why I love nanotechnology. The inhalation exhalation resistance is so low, and the amount of carbon dioxide that is retained within the mask is so low that for all reasons you're solving every problem that people didn't even imagine could happen in a mask. So coming to your double masks, I hate that guidance for India. We live in a country which is a tropical country. For 9 to 10 months of the year, for the most part of the country, we live in hot and humid conditions. To wear a double mask, I would never make my child or my parent double mask. Let me say that firstly. It puts a lot of pressure on the heart. It just can't be good for any reason. And the kind of carbon dioxide that is retained within the mask, you're running the risk of an elevated heart rate. You're running the risk of getting hypoxia. I don't even want to get into more severe problems because it's not like I'm trying to create fear, but there's a lot of bad things that can happen to you from double masking. If you were living in New York or San Francisco or whatnot, where the temperatures are in the teens, or a warm day is 23, 24 degrees for the most part of the year, double masking may be okay, but not in our conditions. I'm sorry, it doesn't work. Your best bet, and especially for your child, is to get them, an N95 reusable mask. These are, washable. They have a life of, 3 to 4 months. It's just easy. Your kid is comfortable if it's a mask with a low inhalation, exhalation resistance. I mean, you solve so many problems. Of course, we've taken things to the next level. I'm going to preempt your next question and brought in the design element as well to kind of make things exciting for children. So I wanted to show you, this is our Disney. It's the Simba, mask, as you can see Simba there. So, what we've done is, I'm a parent, okay, and I was trying to solve my own problem. I have two boys who even I hate to put on a mask, right? And unfortunately, we're all forced to now. I was like, how do I make this exciting for my boys? While they're of an age when they're not excited by Disney, they're usually excited by Marvel. So, this is, Captain America right here. Now recently we've even licensed, Barbie for South Asia. So all the Barbie fans, and we've got everything. We've got the princesses for the girls. We've got Barbie coming up. We are having a lot of fun with this. The only way to kind of get through this is to kind of enjoy the process, even as a parent, right? You got to make
Right.
it exciting. Your kids got to feel like a superhero putting on the mask. I mean, that's the
Right.
way I look at it.
I ask you here a question that, we
Yes.
see a lot of parents were perhaps not putting masks on kids under 2 or 2 to 5 seems to be okay. Sometimes they're wearing it, sometimes they're wearing it here, sometimes the mask is really low, and we're talking of a third wave of COVID with kids. So
Yeah.
my question, what should be the surface area that should actually cover? What's the surface area that the mask should cover? And do the under two really need the mask?
So, there is a US FDA guidance that children under the age of 2 should not, which, you should never put a mask on a child under the age of 2. If you've kind of seen any of our products, we've actually taken that US FDA guidance and increased it to 4. It's a choking hazard. I think the US FDA has put 2 as a guidance because they think it's a choking hazard. Honestly, I would not put a mask on my child until they're about 3 years old. US FDA, with all due respect to US FDA and all of that, everybody loves their child, and the last thing you want is to be responsible for choking your own child. So err on the side of caution. I think if you've got a child under the age of 3, your best bet is an indoor play area with, air purifiers and, HEPA air purifiers and whatnot running there. Or just taking them into the outdoors away from people. In ambient air there's very little viral load because everything disperses really, really quickly. As long as your child is not within 10-12 feet of anybody else, I think it's going to be fine in ambient or outdoor air. But just keep them indoors and keep them well within their bubble and in a room with an air purifier. And I think that's going to be fine. I think it's kids 3 years and up where you need a mask, and these are kids that are also running about and want to run about. And I think these are the kids that are probably going or need to at some point will be going to school and whatnot as well. So
Right.
over 3. On the question of surface area, there's no right or wrong answer there. As long as you have a mask where all the air on the inhale is being forced through your filter and all the air on the exhale is also being pushed through the filter, you're golden. There's no right or wrong answer. We as a company use 2 different patterns, and we are developing a third. So there's no right or wrong answer on the pattern and the amount of surface area. But air is something that will always find the path of least resistance. So I'm going to put my mask on and just show you. Uh, we have a nose band here, which I'm pressing down to seal my face, right? And if you see, I'm going to just breathe a little in an exaggerated way. That mask is going in and out because all the air is being forced in and out through the filter. If I loosen this nose band, if I don't have a nose band here, air will find the path of least resistance. About 80 to 90% of the air into my mask will enter without the use of the filter. So that's very, very important. Just do this test. When you put on your mask, inhale, exhale, and make sure that the mask is mimicking your lungs. It should be inflating and deflating. If it's not doing that, you need to get yourself another mask because it's not really a mask. It's a piece of cloth for optics.
Right. Also, Jay, I was previously asking this question. A lot of people sometimes when they feel very claustrophobic or they're running or whatever, they put down their mask and they'll put it back on again for lack of breath. Especially, I've seen a lot of runners do that as well. Does that really help? Can you pull it out and put it up back again?
you're kind of taking me into a whole different turf now, Mansi, because there are specialized masks for sports. So
Okay.
we do have that on our website.
Okay.
That's a whole different ball game. You're taking me
Sure.
into a different direction.
Sure.
So
Sure.
so
Sure.
if you're into active sport, you need to get yourself a sports mask, and that's a whole different beast. That's not
Right.
an everyday lifestyle.
Lot of kids are now getting back to playing active sports as well because you feel like, oh, they can play football games and it's an outdoor sport or cricket. And I see a lot of these kids running with their masks. And I find it like if you're getting back to outdoor sports, you may as well want to have the right mask. And that's why that question. Um, do you also get, there's this whole flurry of people wearing a lot of fancy masks. Or shadi mein ja rahe to embroidery wala mask and, like some this and that and whatever. People assume that yours is just another cloth mask.
Absolutely, all the time. I think there are very few people in India who look at the certifications, and I'm someone who I'm a victim of air pollution. I have bronchial asthma. I'm probably the most well documented victim of air pollution in India, probably maybe even in the world for that matter. Uh, and people just don't get into the science. I don't think people understand what is the role of a mask. If people understood that, right now, let me be honest with you, your best bet out of both these pandemics is probably a mask. This whole vaccine stuff, it's all so new and it's all so out there, and we understand so little about COVID right now. If anybody is telling you intelligently that they cracked COVID, then they understand, how much your exposure needs to be, and what kind of exposure and for what length of time. They're talking shit. Nobody understands, what COVID is. Nobody understands the science of COVID. I just want to tell parents one thing, and it's really very, very simple. A few things here on COVID. There are only three protocols for COVID. Okay, it's physical distancing. I don't want to say social distancing. It's physical distancing. Uh, I want to be clear when I mention physical distancing that it doesn't mean that if you're 6 to 8 feet away from somebody, you can remove your mask. That's not what I'm saying. You still need to keep your mask on. I would go to the extent of saying that if you're two people traveling in a car, don't turn on your AC. I know it's freaking 40 degrees out there, but I want you to roll your windows down, because if that person, the second person, is not from within your bubble, you need to roll your windows down, because that if there is a viral load in the car, it needs to get dispersed. Otherwise, you're a sitting duck. Okay. So I mentioned physical distancing. The second is, of course, a well-fitted mask with viral and particulate efficacy, tested and certified. And the third is ventilation. Ventilation is very important as well. Our homes and offices and classrooms are not ventilated anymore. We've gotten cushy, we have split ACs and those ceiling cassette ACs and all those things. Those are not going to work anymore. In a COVID world, whether it's your office or you cannot. Let me sum it up in 4 words, okay? If you just want to remember 4 words, don't share the air. That's the protocol for COVID. Okay, no matter where you are, if you're sharing the air, you are at a huge, huge risk and a huge disadvantage. And that's why you need a good mask, because whether you're outdoors, whether you're in your car, whether you're in a classroom or an office or public transportation, whatever, your mask is your number one strategy for some time to come. I was talking to somebody from the National Disaster Management Authority last evening. um, Let me just tell you that our government is so eager to, kickstart the economy, and it's so eager to get those planes up in the air again. The way this virus arrived in India was through one of our international airports. Okay, and the way we are going to get variants like the Texas variant, which has been caused a lot of disease and mortality for children, is going to be through one of those international airports. So, I know we're all eager to get back to life and whatnot, but, let's all be clear. We are talking about an enemy, this virus, that thrives on our weakness, our need to socialize. So, if we can curb that weakness till we see the backside of this virus and say goodbye to it, that's probably ideal, because I don't want to be having these live sessions 5 years from now and still talking about the same thing. Because I know our memory is really, really short. We're going to
Right,
forget what just happened to us over the last 2 or 3 months. So
right.
anyway, yeah, so that was a little kind of spiel on COVID. Don't share the air. If you're going to just remember four words, don't share the air. That's your protocol.
Right. Now again, we're talking of, we've spoken of double mask, we've spoken of N95, we've spoken on the right surface area of masking. The big question, which everybody is worried about, is, the third wave, right? And especially it hitting children. Um, what would you recommend, and especially from a masking protocol, what would you practice as a parent?
Look, if your child is anywhere where they're in a position to share the air, okay, outside of their bubble, right? If they're, of course, if within your home, of course, you don't, nobody needs to wear a mask, right? I mean, the government panicked, at the start of the second wave and said, hey, wear a mask even within your homes. That's really not required if you're within your bubble. Of course, if anybody within the bubble has been exposed or compromised, or if somebody who's not within your bubble, like an AC service person or somebody who's come to, repair the RO or something, is in your home, then of course, open your doors and windows, because that will disperse the air and will create an air exchange through your own house. I would continue to wear a mask for at least an hour after that person is left. And, if it's really, really hot and you don't want to open your doors and windows, and crank up your air purifiers, because it will catch all the particles in the air, right? Respiratory droplets, as well as the COVID particles. So, just follow the science. It's actually common sense. I mean, it's not. Fortunately, I have a lot of monitoring equipment, so I have a lot of fun with this. For me, this is like a constant learning and a constant work in progress, because I can actually physically monitor the particles in the air, and I'm always watching for carbon dioxide levels because I want to see how good my ventilation is. So I'm watching a lot of things, and in fact, if some of you are parents and want me to get involved in advising your kids' schools as well, I already do that for a lot of schools in Delhi, and I'd be really happy to do that. I mean, health and safety first. So I see a lot of schools take this stuff really seriously, and I know a lot of schools, just feel like our job is to educate. Health and service safety is not our priority. Considering where we live and when we are living, this is the utmost priority right now. It's not education anymore. If we
Right.
have a hope of ever sending our children back to school, health and safety has to be number one now.
Does Airfix make N95 masks for kids?
Yes, we do. So, our entire Aerific range of masks has the secret sauce in there is a nanofiber filter. This is made using nanotechnology. So each mask has about the length of the fiber in each mask. The filter I'm talking about is about 25 kilometers. Okay, so our efficacy does not come from the electrostatic charge, which you have in a disposable mask. Our efficacy comes from having this really, really fine fiber and 25 kilometers of it in each mask. So, ours is the only mask manufactured in India that has been CE certified, and this is the European certification, which involves machine washing the mask 10 times and then checking for efficacy. And the only reason we made it through that testing is because we use nanofiber. The CE standard is just unbelievable. In fact, I mentioned this to you, Mansi, earlier, and I'm going to say it here. I have just filed a PIL, a public interest litigation in the Supreme Court, to force the Indian government to develop mask standards for the community, which is adults and children that live in India. The fact that we have the worst communicable disease record on the planet, and we have the worst air pollution record on the planet, and we still don't have a mask standard for non-medical
Wow.
masks or community masks. I mean, that is just mind baffling, and from where I sit. And
Yeah.
I've worked in the system. I think If we don't do this now, vaccine or no vaccine, we'll be in this pandemic for, I don't know what. I don't want to be negative, but, we have to beat science with science. If we don't do that, we're just running on the same spot. We're not moving forward.
Right. Which is very interesting that you say that. And I must ask you this. I've seen a lot of people, people are, the reason people prefer cloth masks, and especially as Indians, because our affinity for reusable and use till its deathbed is so pertinent, right? We like the cloth mask because you can reuse it and there's no shelf life to it, right? It'll keep extending itself. The N95, the surgical, at some point in time, you got to dispose it. So, what's the disposal policy and the reusable protocol for each of these different kinds of masks? So I know some people, like, they hang it out in the sun, it'll work. If you air dry it, it'll work. You wash it, it'll work. What is the reusable protocol on each of these?
So firstly, before I answer your question, I'm going to urge everybody here to please wear a reusable mask. Okay. I mean, the kind of, every kind of disposable mask out there has some form of plastic in it. And this plastic is going to come back to bite us in the ass in the form of food, air, or water, right? These microplastics are going to come back and, come into our body in one way or another. So we all have a huge responsibility to use sustainable masks, which are reusable and washable masks, right? Now your question is, how do we, treat these masks so that they're sterile? So the virus attaches itself to, respiratory droplets. It needs moisture to live. So if you dry the mask, fortunately we live in warm conditions. If you're in a humid place, and of course we're going to have rain soon, as long as your mask is dry, so leave it in front of a fan or something, you're going to be fine. The right protocol on this is to have an odd and an even mask. So wear your odd mask on odd days and even mask on even days, and give the other mask a rest in the, in the middle. Because and also, don't put your used mask immediately into a plastic or a non-breathable packaging, because that moisture in there will give rise to bacteria and fungus. Moisture creates bacteria and fungus, right? So you don't want bacteria and fungus growing on your mask, and you putting it on 2 to 3 days later and breathing through that. I mean, that would be really bad for health. So you need to make sure that your mask is absolutely dry before you put it on the next time. And you got to sun it or air it or fan it or do whatever you need to dry it, however you dry your clothes.
That's very, very interesting. Somebody has asked on an O2 curve mask. I'm not sure what that is.
So, that's one of our products that a lot of doctors use. It's called a silicone seal. The only thing kind of lacking in a cloth mask that we make, the Aerific with a nanofiber filter inside it, is that in a cloth mask, there's a possibility, if you move quick, or if you're running or bicycling, your mask may shift, okay? Or a gust of, wind gust hits your face or something, your mask may shift. A silicone mask is like 100% fit. It's a sure fit. So, if you're on a flight, if you're in a really high-risk environment like doctors and hospitals, we recommend masks with a silicone seal for those environments. Certainly, if the third wave hits and things are really bad, I would be recommending, if things get really, really bad, I would be recommending, if you're in a high-risk environment, silicone seal, absolutely, no question about it. So,
Right.
The silicone is a sure thing. It completely seals your face. No matter what hits it, it will not move. Even the specialized sports masks have a silicone seal.
And I must ask you here, a lot of people for reasons, and especially people who are flying, you see them double mask, face shield. How much of that, the right mask? If I'm a layman, should I be investing in the right mask, or should I be investing in double mask, shield, glasses, and almost looking like an alien?
Okay, so firstly, let me just say that there is no evidence to support that there is any surface transmission. So all the chemicals that we put on our skin and our bodies and our children, I don't think we need to do that anymore. Of course, there is no substitute for good hygiene. I'm not asking you not to wash hands whenever you can and all of that. But we were going kind of overboard and obsessing with surface transmission, and 15 months from the start of the pandemic, there's no evidence to support that. There is no evidence to support transmission from droplets entering the eyes. Okay, so that's another one of those. Now, if we're talking about aerosolized transmission, which are just moisture droplets that kind of come out of a symptomatic infected person when they breathe, right? They may not even be aware that they are sick, but they're asymptomatic or symptomatic, but they're infected. Those aerosolized particles can be suspended in the air for hours. Okay, I've heard some people say 3 hours, but I've heard data that says less than, under 3 hours, but I've even seen some data that says could be more than 3 hours, which basically means that if you're in an indoor environment with an infected person, it doesn't matter how far you are from them. A lot of it is luck, but if you get that exposure for whatever that length of time is and whatever the right exposure is, you are going to get infected. Okay. And that's how, most of the transmission is happening, right? A face shield, I don't get it because it's not sealing your air passages. It's just something that's in front of your face. I don't get the purpose of it. I've never used it. I don't understand it because I don't understand the science behind it, because it's not going to protect you from an aerosolized particle. Because an aerosolized particle, it's everywhere. And depending on the air currents and the air conditioning and the airflow, it will go wherever it needs to go. A face shield will not stop it from getting to your nose. Okay. Right. So I don't understand face shields. Again, on masking, what is very important is, the mask fitting your face. But just as important as that is inhalation and exhalation resistance on the mask. It needs to be really, really low, because that's the only way you or your child is going to keep your mask on over extended periods of time. If you buy an N95 mask where it's so bloody uncomfortable to wear it that every 10 minutes you need to grab it and yank it off your face because, you're getting, delirious or you're getting claustrophobic, there's no point to that mask. Right. Because, you're compromising yourself. There's no point to that mask.
To sum up this conversation, couple of things is that the N95, if I've got it, I'm assuming everyone else has got it as well. It's giving you 95% protection. We're looking at 99.9% protection. Therefore, the nanotechnology that the Nirvana mask has, so look for that. Make sure that it's clipped here, so you're not letting any air pass through, and look at the make sure that the mask, when you breathe in, breathe out, is replicating your lungs. Also make sure that that the mask that you're actually, even if you're doing single mask, that's absolutely okay, but the right mask and the O2 and CO2 levels, if that respiration is happening to that mask, is something that you should look at. And for kids under 4, you're not recommending because it can lead to suffocation or choking, and it can be a health hazard, right? And most importantly, which I think I would personally like to mention, is, guys, look at who's manufacturing your mask. Are you just falling prey to another person who's building it in their backyard or creating it in their backyard? With certifications, definitely. Yes.
I want to talk about that a little bit, because 99% of the masks available in India that mention that they are N95 certified are fake. Okay. In fact, I was talking just this week to...
Right now.
Sorry?
I said, you just got my head spinning right now.
No, so, most of these companies that write N95 on their masks, they don't even share their certifications on their website. And there's a problem with that, right? And so many people have called me and asked me about Uniqlo and Adidas and all of that. Those are simple cloth masks. They do not protect you from They have no viral filtration efficiency. They do not filter PM 2.5. Those are just, companies that, have access to cloth and put something out there. If you look on their websites, nowhere are they talking about viral filtration efficiency or particulate filtration efficiency. So guys, this is what I told you today is the science of COVID. And hopefully you're going to use that, correctly to protect your family. You need protection from a virus, and you need protection from air pollution, black carbon nanoparticles. Now, both of these things are, like nanoparticles. And whether it's a cloth mask or a surgical mask, those things are not made for that. They were never invented for that. In fact, I'm telling you today that the N95 mask was never, built to protect you for something as small as the COVID particle. And in some situations, it may still come up short. Which is, and also let me tell you one more thing. There is no N95 mask manufacturer in India which is making the disposable N95 mask, okay? Because, a disposable N95 mask, once again, the efficacy comes from an electrostatic charge that is on the filter. We don't have the machinery in India to even pack these N95 masks without human touch. The moment a human touches an electrostatically charged N95 mask, you start losing efficacy. So even the N95 mask that you're buying that's disposable, that's made in India, it has no efficacy because it has been touched so many times even before it went into its packaging. Because we don't have the machinery in India for this. And, these are the realities of, the mask business. And that's why we decided to get away from all this electrostatic nonsense and just put, a freaking Rolls-Royce engine into our mask, that uses nanotechnology so that, all of this stuff about human touch and all that, we don't have these problems. It doesn't matter how many times you wash the mask, it's not going to lose its efficacy. So let's take all of that out of it.
A bullet straight into my head right now by telling me this. You know that, right?
No, but just follow the science, Mansi, because and listen, Mansi, if I tell you how many times a week I get offered money, all of our certifications on our website are watermarked. The reason we watermark them is because people copy them, white out our name, and then put their name and use our certifications. I have been offered money for this. I get offered money for this every week. We live in a country where people don't give a shit about your health or life, or the life or health of your family. We're one of the few companies that, as I told you, everything that we do at Nirvana Being is done for me and my family. I come first. I'm selfish. I come first. I'm the guinea pig. It has to work for me. It has to deliver for me. It has to protect me. And then I will share it with the rest of the world. Since I've got you here, there's one more thing I want to talk about that is very important for young families, because I get this question a lot. I'm going to go away from masks for a moment. A lot of parents ask me, so a lot of the transmission, even during the second COVID wave, and even during the first one. So one person in a home gets infected and they end up, because so the bubble inside your home gets breached and everybody at home gets infected. Okay. So I've seen this with so many friends, the mother or the father came home brought COVID to the house and then infected everybody. Okay. So again, I'm just going to tell you some very, very simple things. Okay. If you've got a child who's got COVID, and you don't, okay? So the child hopefully has a bedroom. If they don't, give them their own kind of personal space, give them their own toilet. Hopefully that toilet has an exhaust. Please run that exhaust 24/7. Why am I asking you to run that exhaust? Because the exhaust will create a negative pressure. So none of the infected air from your child's room or that infected room will go towards the main house. It will create a negative pressure so that the air is coming from the main house into your child's bedroom, into the toilet, and getting out of the house. Okay, it's very simple engineering, very simple. That's why exhaust exists, right? To get rid of foul air. but they also create a negative pressure in the toilet, and as a result of that in your bedroom, and as a result of that your main house. Okay, so just run the exhaust. If you've got anybody, and when you are caring for your child, uh, don't stand between the toilet and your child, because then the infected air is getting to you, right? Don't be in that air pocket between your child and the exhaust fan. Be in the air pocket between your child and the main house.
Right.
You with me? So you're upwind from the infection, you're not downwind from the infection. Also,
Right.
you have to wear an N95 mask when you are caring for your child, whether you're giving them medicines or taking their, saturation level, or feeding them, or whatever, TLC, or whatever you're doing with your child. Be upwind from your child. This is just simple stuff. If you have an air purifier in the room, just run it 24 hours, because it will reduce the viral load in the air. Because it's, एक तो बीमार हो ही गया. Why does the entire house need to get infected?
Absolutely.